yeah. Let's get it. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. Rumble-lights, hit the like button, please. YouTube viewers, hit the like button, please. Yeah. Everybody hit the like button for me. Yeah.
Alright guys, in this video.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
If you get a man drunk enough, he will tell you the truth about anything. So I'm here to tell you guys the truth that was admitted to me by this man who was drunk.
Never date a woman.
One last one.
Yeah. Hit the like button, please. Yeah. Hit the like. You did. Let's get it. Hit the like button. $25 live stream goal. You did. If we meet it, I stay on 2 hours. If not, I stay on 1 hour.
Also, when it comes to I'm a team
Alright guys, in this video, we're going to be talking.
I'm a team player.
Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. You did. Come on. Yeah. Let's get it. Can you dig it? Niggle it. Yeah. Hit the like button. Rare Breeze, let me know something in the live chat. Let me know. Come on. Yeah. Let's get it.
Before I continue with my message, thank you, Sister Avanti, $10 coming on the Cash App. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20, but thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sister.
What you got on my 40, homie?
I thought you had $200.
I do, but I won't spend Red's money.
You're going to come up to me and hug my neck and kiss me and say, thank you for getting that money out of my pocket.
Oh, I'll just hold on to my money because, you know, there's hardship. Be careful.
You need to make a vow of faith of $1,000. Oh, Bob, couldn't you say 25? No! You can't make a $1,000 vow of faith. I'm saying in faith.
Tithe! Give money and you'll get the blessing. If you don't, nothing for you.
Put some anointing on this money. You put something up here. You put... Woo! Prosper, I said.
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. I don't want to hear no more excuses about what y'all can't afford. You can't afford it because you don't see the value here.
I am once again asking for your financial support.
Niggas don't see the value here.
Donations. Donations.
Hit the like button, my loves. No homo.
You say you want to make a $500 vow? Then do it. If that takes faith for you, do it. You want to make a $100 vow or $200? If that takes faith, see, I like 1,000 because I know I got you. I got you into faith.
Yeah. All right, we in here. So Pop the Balloon, they flagging everybody content. So all the Pop the Balloon reviews I went over, they're flagged now. And then I don't know if y'all remember the one chick, her name was like Be Mindful. She flagged the videos I did to hers. I just deleted them. It said something about, do you want to email Be? No, I'm not about to email that broad. I'll just delete the videos. It ain't that deep. Everybody hit the like button. So yeah, we got a $25 live stream goal as usual for me to stay on 2 hours. If not, I'll just stay on 1 hour. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. Whatever you can give is greatly appreciated. $5 makes you the live stream sponsor. Or you could do super chat or super sticker, dollar symbol on the right of the chat box, even though they take 30% off the top and make me wait 30 days to get it. Without further ado, let's get into this ridiculous nonsense.
So I am going to share. I'm a team player, so I am going to share some common icks of dating in 2025.
Here we go! Here the fuck we go! Here the fuck we go!
I'm a team player, so I am going to share some common icks of dating in 2025. It's trash, by the way. If you're married, just stay married. I think you're gonna be better off if you just stay married. Even if you're unhappy, I just recommend staying married.
That's some good advice that she gave. Just stay married. Yeah, even if you're unhappy, because you're going to be unhappy back on the dating market too. That's probably the number one reason. I would love to hear all the reasoning that divorced women would give why they divorced their husband. I'm willing to bet it's not beating and cheating. 8 times out of 10. And then even if it is beating and cheating, you know? But no, seriously, even if it is beating and cheating, did he just start beating and cheating randomly 2-3 years into the marriage? Of course not. So it's just, yeah, just stay married, everybody.
And staying married, okay?
To be fair, her telling people to stay married is some pretty solid advice, because for most people, there's nothing good waiting for them in the streets. This is especially true for people who want to get divorced because they're bored and want something new. But in the long run, it's not really in your best interest to leave a partner who's otherwise good for you in every other way. People always think the grass is greener on the other side, and those who step out on their partner for that all-new experience usually have to learn the hard way. So don't let this be you.
There's nothing really on the dating market for women over 35, but just hard D and bubblegum. I mean, if they're looking for some excitement, something to spice up their life, I mean, yeah, some new dick will spice up your life for a couple of months, but it's gonna get old, and you're gonna get tired of getting, loads blew on you and then ignored. And now you're back feeling unhappy and unfulfilled, but now you don't have that financial security and that community you had with your husband's family and everything. So yeah, it's a really stupid move for most women. And most women who divorce their husbands, they live to regret it. The ones who had decent husbands, I'll just say that.
Usually have to learn the hard way, so don't let this be you.
It's nothing. It's trash. The dating pool is trash. 40 plus, trash. Straight downhill. But let's talk about some common icks, okay? Emotional intelligence, right?
Here we go! Here the fuck we go! Here the fuck we go!
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Does she look 40 plus? I wouldn't have guessed 40 plus. I would have guessed maybe a bad 35. She is a white woman, of course. You know, they age horribly. So I just would have said maybe a bad 35, a bad 32. I don't know if I would have said 40. But look, man, I see the sleeve there, and it's always a dead giveaway. The trashy sleeve tattoo. Look, we know what type of men she's been getting plowed by since she was 16. Ain't the wholesome good boys. So, ma'am, it's not about the date market sucking at 40 plus. It's been sucking for you since you got in the game, since you hopped off the porch. Because you go after the guys who are the most toxic and the most likely to do you dirty. And you love it. You love the excitement of that. You love the emotional roller coaster of that. Let's be honest. You're repulsed by... Let's be honest. You would be repulsed by a dude who is emotionally intelligent. You'd be like, get this drag out of here. Nothing gets your pussy wetter than an emotionally unavailable, tall, fit, sexy man. Just stop the damn cap. See, here's the thing. They want a tall, fit, charismatic man to not treat him like shit. That's what they mean by emotional intelligence. Just please don't treat me like shit, Chad. Can you at least treat me human, Chad? That's what they mean by emotional intelligence. They don't want a sensitive man who really tapped into his emotions. They just want to not be treated like a dog by the men they're the most attracted to. Let's get the likes up, donations up. If y'all want me to stay on 2 hours. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. Or you could do super chat, super sticker, $ symbol on the right of the chat box. Yeah, I'm getting notifications as we speak that Pop the Balloon is marking all my videos. Silly shit. Let's get back into it.
Emotional intelligence, right? You would think whenever you start getting into the 40 plus club that there'd be some emotional intelligence. No, that's not true. That is not true at all. Not.
Can you stop pointing at me? Can you stop pointing at me, Karen? Please stop pointing at me. Look, dudes who are swimming in pussy never have to be emotionally intelligent. Get it through your thick fucking skulls. Men with options don't have to be emotionally intelligent. And men with options over 40, nah. This is what women don't get. Men are over it at 40. They're just over it. Even the Chads who were chatting from 15 to 30, and then they tried to get into a serious relationship with a woman from, let's just say, 30 to 40, maybe a couple of relationships, a marriage or something. They saw behind the veil of the fairy tale, and they didn't like what they saw. They like, I might as well go back to being a piece of shit and just running through these hoes and having my freedom. Men just are over serious relationships after 40. They're just over it. Dad does not have to give a fuck about your feelings. He just doesn't. He'll just go to the next chick when you start being too emotionally burdensome, if that's a word.
Intelligence? No, that's not true. That is not true at all. Not true at all. I dated a guy who literally I felt like I was just banging my head against a wall anytime that there was conflict.
Now, it's hard to say if these guys are lacking in emotional intelligence or if they're just not giving her the type of response she wants. Honestly, when people use that term, I don't even know what they mean by it because it all seems so vague to me, at least when I see it being used in videos like this. What would have been helpful is if she went into more detail about how the guy handled the conflicts they had. It'd also be good to know if they were actually in a relationship, because dating doesn't mean they were official. And if he's anything like me, I'm not trying to have heated discussions with someone I'm only hooking up with.
And I try and talk through it with him, and it was just like literally banging my head against the wall.
Yeah, see, I'm going to talk about this real quick. See, if you're going to be a player, a playboy, whatever, there's rules and regulations. See, these dudes are trying to play both sides of the fence. They're kind of like, okay, we're not official, but we kind of hooking up, but we hang out, but we watch movies sometimes. And then it's that gray area of we're fucking, but you still have the liberty to, you know, pour your baggage on me or argue with me about your feelings or argue with me about where I'm at. Like, no. These dudes just need to boss up and say this is just a sex thing. I I don't know, man. To me, if you're gonna do the situationship thing, it needs to be clear. Like, just call me when you want to have a good time. We're not friends. Shout out to the dudes who got it like that, where they could just say flat out, "We ain't friends. Call me when you want to maybe watch a movie and fuck, or call me when you want to get a bite to eat, and then after we get a bite to eat, we fuck. We ain't together. Don't call me when you having problems. Don't call me telling me about how you starting to develop feelings. Like, once you start doing that, I'm cutting you off cold turkey." Shout out to them dudes. But dudes who try to walk the fence, oh my goodness, bro, you might as well buy a prostitute. Because what's the point of having a situationship if you got to deal with all her emotional baggage on top of hitting the scans?
Like, literally banging my head against the wall. I'm like, this is pointless. This is pointless. How can you be 40 whatever and lack emotional intelligence? If you had anything going for you, I would think it'd be emotional intelligence when you're in your 40s. No, not this guy.
She says that she tried to talk through things with the guy she was dating, but still, she doesn't say anything about how he responded to the situation.
Second ick, someone that just agrees with everything that you say. Like, I was talking to one guy, and every single time that I would say something, he would agree with it. I don't want someone agreeing with me all the time. I want someone like pushing my buttons and calling me out and challenging my thought process. Like, if I wanted someone to agree with me all the time, I don't know. Like, my kids don't even agree with me all the time.
Bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo. So that puts everything kind of in context. This is a 40 plus, tatted up single mother of I don't know how many. So yeah, nobody's trying to take her serious. No respectable man is going to take her serious. No reformed bad boy is even going to take her serious. She is forever in the pump and dump only box. The only men who would take her serious are the men who she want nothing to do with. Like, yeah, the weak, nice guy who gonna agree with everything she say. Or the dude who's just agreeing with everything she say just to hit some skins. Yeah, man, you're fucked, unfortunately. You probably should just stop dating, honestly.
I don't know. Like, my kids don't even agree with me all the time. I need someone to challenge my thought process. So, 2 icks. What are your icks? What are your icks? What are your dating icks?
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy who always agrees with a woman just because you don't want to risk upsetting her. Now, this is a very different thing from people trying to say or do things that they know will stir some shit up just because they need drama. That sort of person, you're better off avoiding. If you always agree with a woman, it can come off as being passive, especially if she's got reason to believe that you're actually not on the same page about whatever you're talking about. Being able to stand your ground is important to women because generally, they don't want a guy who'll easily fold under pressure.
Okay, dating ick part 2. I probably have 1,000 of these because I've gone on several dates over the past 8 months, and it's terrifying. It's so terrifying. Anyways, I know you guys don't want to hear this, but girls really do care about how tall you are. I mean, I do. If you're...
Why does that not surprise me?
Always gonna love me more than I'm ever gonna love you. And if a man wants to be in my life, he needs to spend his every waking hour thinking of ways on how he needs to convince me that he should even be graced by my presence.
You know how many times I hear this shit? You know how...
Let me try something out real quick. Let's get the likes up and the donations up. If y'all want me to stay on 2 hours, we're trying to meet the $25 goal. Nothing has been met. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs all at the top of the chat. $5 makes you the live stream sponsor. Nothing has been met. Or you could do Super Chat, Super Sticker, which is the dollar symbol on the right of the chat box. Let me check something real quick. Let's see. Let's get back into it. Hold on, Rare Breeze, where y'all at? Y'all been hitting up the live chat? I haven't had the stream pulled up on the on my TV. Are we chatting in the live chat? Who in here? How many people I got watching right now? Only 7 people? Okay. Can we get the likes up? We only got 7 people watching. That's crazy. After being on for what? Like 20 minutes by now? Yeah, about 20 minutes. We only got 7 people in here. I need everybody to hit the like button. Can somebody drop how many likes we have in the chat? I'm pretty much streaming to myself. What up, Spirit? Spirit, can you tell me how many likes you see on this video? I need everybody to hit the like button. If you support RB Sensei, hit the like button. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. The more people like the video, the more our numbers will go up. Go ahead, hit the like button, please. I need at least 6 likes. So I'm gonna press play when we get 6 likes, and then somebody notify me when we get 6 likes. You know? I'm gonna yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Yeah. Yep. Hit the like button. Get my likes up. You dig? Somebody let me know when we get 6 likes. I need 6 likes. Yeah. I need 6 likes so we can get started. Yeah. Hit the like button so we can get started. Yeah. We only got 9 people in here. We usually would have had like 15, 16, 20 people. Yeah. Wait, we got 9 likes? Hold on. Get the likes up. Somebody tell me when we get the likes up. What the likes looking like? I can't even see my own likes. It's crazy out here. Yeah. Somebody let me know when we reach goal. I need at least 6 likes. Once we get 6 likes, I'm gonna start back. Somebody let me know. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. All right, there we go. We got the likes up. All right, let's get back started. Yep. Yeah.
Women have it hard. Okay, women have it hard. You have no idea what women go through every day. Okay. Women have it hard. Okay, women have it hard. You have no idea what women go through every day. Okay. Women have it hard. Okay, women have it hard. You have no idea what women go through every day. Okay. Women have it hard. Okay, women have it hard. You have no idea.
All right, let's get back into it. Appreciate y'all for getting the likes up. We back.
I mean, I do. If you're a short girl, you can date whoever you want. If you're a tall female, I'm 5'6", 5'7", we have to date taller men.
It will never get old to me how it's fully acceptable for women to be super blunt about their height preference. But when men have a weight preference, all hell breaks loose.
No, it's cool. It's cool, baby. It's cool. Only date 6-foot men because you're 5'6" or 5'7". Fine. You're 40-something years old with kids, still on the internet talking about dating. This shit is fucking childish. It's completely fucking childish. Too old for all this shit. Look, you've been dating. Okay, you only date 6 feet or above. Okay, cool. You've been dating 6 feet or above since 15. 25 years of dating 6 feet and above, and nothing worked out from it. Because it don't really have anything to do with height. It has something to do with you not being a good woman to a man. You're not a good dating option for any man. You wouldn't make a good spouse to any man. A 5'2" man, a 5'3" man, a 4'11" man, a 50K man, a 30K man, a 20K man. That's the problem. You focusing on the wrong shit. Oh, I'm 5'6" and I gotta date over 6 feet. Now it don't got shit to do with that. And everything to do with what type of person you are on the inside. That's why you're failing at dating, bitch. Because you fucking suck. And I can see the top of your eyeball, so I can tell you're fucking nuts. And that's definitely the 1,000 cock stare right there. You're looking at it, fellas. 1,000 cock stare.
I told you so.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
$25 live stream goal. Nothing has been met. If we meet it, I stay on 2 hours. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs all at the top of the chat. $5 makes you the live stream sponsor. Let's get it. Donations up.
Men have a weight preference. All hell breaks loose.
I can't date someone that's 5'6". It's not like, no, I can't do it. So anyways, I met this guy on a dating app. We went to lunch. It said he was like 6'1", and I'm like, perfect. This is great, you know? We go to lunch, and I...
Think about, hold on, I hate to keep stopping it. I hate to keep stopping it, but let's really think about this as grown men. This woman is 40 plus year old. This woman is 40 years old or older with kids. And one of her main concerns when dating is if he's over 6 feet. And she has children she's taking care of. And that's her main concern. How tall this motherfucker is. Never mind.
It said he was like 6'1", and I'm like, perfect. This is great, you know? We go to lunch, and I meet him there, and he's already like inside sitting down. I'm like, that's weird. So I go in, I get to the table. I'm expecting him to stand up and like greet me. He stayed seated. How tall do we think he was? Do you think he was 6'1"? The answer is no. He was not. He was not. He was like my height. He was like 5'6" or 5'7".
Okay. All right. We're going to assume she's telling the truth. Even though these bitches be lying just for the plot, just so they can have some content. Keep in mind, this woman is 40 plus years old with this shit. I mean, can you imagine if this was your sister or aunt and you just happen to follow her because she family or something? And like, you see this shit popping up on your feed? Like, grow the fuck up. You're embarrassing the family. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to say this. Of course, guys, don't lie about your height. I get why guys lie about their height because there's so many men completely locked out of the dating market. Completely locked out. So they just do desperate things to try to get a swipe, you know? But no, bruh. I mean, because I don't understand what the goal is. I mean, I guess the goal is I'm going to lie and say I'm 6'1", but then when she comes on a date, she's going to see how awesome I am on the date, and she's not going to worry about the fact that I'm not 6'1". Why start a relationship off with a lie? Why do you have such low self-esteem that you would want to date a woman who would have dismissed you in person if you met her in person? You know what I mean? I get it, man. I get it. Loneliness is real. But really, this is what you're lying to get? This woman is clearly a piece of shit. Dudes are stooping so low that they're lying to attract the attention of piece of shit, bottom of the barrel women on dating apps at 40 with kids. It's a sad time, man. It's a sad fucking time. They need to just create girlfriend experiences for... They need to create a girlfriend experience company that's like affordable, where you could pay a bitch like minimum wage to come hang out with you for a few hours. If you that lonely. I don't know. Let's get back into it. Actually, in the future, when the androids come out that you can't tell the difference between androids and a real woman, it's over for the bios. It's over for the bios. And they may have to create Rent-A-Gent. Well, they already got a Rent-A-Gent, but Rent-A-Gent may take over when the female androids come out. Because these bitches gonna have to pay just to have a guy sit at a table with them and eat.
He was not. He was like my height. He was like 5'6" or 5'7". And I'm thinking, how did you accidentally put that you were 6 foot or 6'1"?
Would I stand up to greet someone? I don't know. Honestly, maybe I've become too nonchalant about this whole thing. So if a girl didn't want to see me again because of that, so be it. In any case, I get why some men feel the need to lie about their height on dating apps, but it's a pretty silly move. Because it's not like they won't be found out when they go to meet a girl. And it's probably not going to work out if they know that height's an important factor. And if you're going to lie about your height, why would you make the gap between your fantasy height and real height so huge? In that same vein though, women also like to mislead guys about their weight. And while they won't be specific about it on their profile, they'll take pictures in a way that'll hide how big they actually are. I've been a victim of this one too many times. And it's not easy to hold back that level of shock when you're first meeting someone who's much bigger than you thought they'd be. To quickly circle back though, I wonder if this guy stayed seated to delay her actually getting to see how tall he was, thinking that he'd be able to win her over during their date. And by the end, she'd like him so much that she wouldn't take any notice.
Accident, but
So much that she wouldn't take any notice of his height.
was it an accident? It wasn't an accident. But anyways, so as we're leaving the restaurant, it gets worse. It gets worse. As we're leaving the restaurant, I get to the door and I expect him to open the door for me. Do you think he opened the door for me? No, he did not open the door for me.
Well, okay. We can tell that this woman is a cunt just by how she's coming across now. She's coming across like a complete fucking deranged Karen. So you know how disappointed she was when she realized that he wasn't 6'1". So you know she was being a bitch to him the whole day. You just know it. She's being a bitch to us and she don't even know us. So yeah, I'm sure he didn't hold the door for you. I'm sure you didn't deserve to have the door held for you. And she's going to have us believe that, oh, maybe if he would have held the door, I would have gave him a second date or something. Bitch, don't nobody want to go on a second date with your trashy ass. But look, she wasn't going to go on a second date with him, and she wouldn't have changed her perspective on him, even if he did hold the door. Let's be clear. Let's get the donations up.
For me. Do you think he opened the door for me? No, he did not open the door for me. I'm standing at the door, like, surely he's going to get the hint. Surely he's going to get the hint. No, he didn't. He didn't get the hint. He never opened the door, so I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going to have to open this door myself.
Listen. Imagine being so entitled as a 40-plus single mom on the dating market, where you still think somebody's supposed to treat you like a fucking princess. As somebody who is clearly the bottom of the female dating pool for multiple reasons. Not to mention you have a TikTok account where you chronicle your life. You're literally the bottom of the dating market. Oh my goodness, man. Like, let's be clear. A sweet 30-year-old unattractive fat woman has more value in the dating market than this woman? Let's just say a sweet, unattractive, 250-pound woman who only had 2 bodies her whole life is technically a better dating option than this woman who would probably treat you better, probably treat you like a king in a relationship. Like, we really got to think about what relationship value really is. A woman being fit and hot, it really doesn't do anything for you day to day, in a relationship. So I'm just saying, like, there's plenty of women who are unattractive and overweight who are a better dating option than this woman. Like a unattractive, overweight, single woman, no kids, sweet personality, willing to appreciate you and put in effort in a relationship is worth 100 times more than this bitch. Easy.
The hint. He never opened the door, so I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm gonna have to open this door myself. So I open the door, we leave, he walks me to my car, and he's like, I had a really, really great time. Like, we have a very good connection. I'd love to do this again. And I'm like, no, buddy. No, short king. We are not doing this again. You can't even open my door, and you're the same height as me. No.
Let's be real. Even if this guy opened the door, it wouldn't have changed her opinion about him because the revelation of his height was more than enough to put her off. And I say that because it's something she keeps bringing up, so it's obviously super important to her. I haven't heard anyone use the term high-calorie woman in a minute, but that shit should stick around if this whole short king thing is gonna stay in the social consciousness. Now, for this last part, I only have half the video because the first half she had some loud-ass music in the background that I just couldn't get rid of. But to catch you up, it seems like she came to the realization that she's the problem when it comes to her dating failures due to the kind of men she chooses. She even asked women to question what type of men they're into, and she didn't want them to list the things they're comfortable saying out loud, but the things that they're actually attracted to. You know, the more toxic stuff, which I think is something women should be honest with themselves about.
Full body of tattoos, that's my type. Big muscles, little TRT, my type.
Why does that not surprise me?
She's a waste of fucking space, dude. She might be good to come down her throat, something like that, and after that, she's fucking in the dating market. She's done.
I told you so.
She's going to have issues for the rest of her life.
There's something seriously wrong with you.
You know, sometimes we get so wrapped up in how a problem bothers us, we don't see what the problem really is.
Little TRT, my type. Emotionally unavailable? Add that to the list.
Okay, let's be clear. For the people who were here, earlier she was talking about how men aren't emotionally intelligent, and you would expect them to be emotionally intelligent by 40. She was claiming she wanted emotional intelligence, but then on this video, she proves my point when I said that's poppycock and bullshit. She just wanted a little bit better treatment from Chad. Oh my goodness, man. When women say emotional, when most of these women say emotional intelligence, they mean, I just want a Chad who's at least going to wait till I get out the car before he pull off. A Chad who's at least going to wait until I fully get both feet out of the car before he pull off. That's emotional intelligence to these bitches who've been getting treated like garbage by top tier men since they were 15.
Add that to the list. Who's the problem now, Danielle? You are. I'm the problem. This is a me problem.
Okay. At least she's admitting that she's the problem. The first step to fixing a problem is admitting you have a problem and that you are the problem. So I'll give her credit from that. I'll give her credit for that. I'm proud of her.
I'm proud of you, you know that. I hope you do.
Woohoo! Yes! Wow! Congratulations.
Oh, you are. I'm the problem. This is a me problem. This really is a me problem. We wonder, why isn't it working out? Why aren't these guys good? Look at what you're picking, girl. Tatty daddies, emotionally unavailable, 40 to 50, trauma. This is a you problem. You problem. I'm talking to myself.
Now,
look at this woman's face. You can't tell me she's not fucking nuts. This face is out of a fucking new Batman movie, like the villain in a new Batman movie.
This woman is fucking nuts. This woman is nuts.
You can't tell me that you can't picture this face on the front of a horror movie. You can't tell me that you can't picture that. You can't tell me that that's far-fetched. Let's get the donations up. If y'all want me to stay on 2 hours, Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. Nothing has been met. If we meet 25, I'll stay on 2 hours. $5 makes you the live stream sponsor. Or you could do super chat, super sticker, dollar symbol on the right of the chat box. Let's get it.
To the whole 2080 rule. Also, when it comes to the whole 2080 rule that only 20% of men are wanted by 80% of women, and how y'all don't get any matches and don't get any dates through dating apps. I'm assuming this rule applies to women that are 25 and younger, right? Because you've told us that no one's going to want us once we're over 25, once we're over 30.
No. Nice try, lady. Nice try. No, it's not only women from 18 to 25 who are chasing the top 20% of men. Actually, the older women get, it seemed like the higher their standards get, because they ain't putting up with the bullshit they put up with in the past. So no, women of all ages are looking for a top 20% man, but they don't think it's the top 20% men. A top 20% man. Okay, let me break it down like this. A lot of these women been fucking with top 5%ers. So a top 10%er is like an average Joe, and a top 20%er is her digging in the garbage from her perspective. But yeah, let's be very clear. Yes, women of all ages are chasing the top 20% of men. And that's being lenient. Really, it's the top 1 to 5% of men in their area. They feel like they selling on a top 10%er. And top 20%er is them just completely humbled and giving in and letting Jesus take the wheel if they fuck with a top 20%er.
One's going to want us once we're over 25, once we're over 30.
I don't really know what she's getting at here. I think that at any age, most women would want to find the best mate. And that's not going to suddenly change when they hit the age of 25 or 30. Saying that though, what does tend to happen as people get older is that they lower their standards a little. But this is true for both men and women. When guys online say things like,
here's the thing, let's talk about that. Let's talk about men lowering their standards and women lowering their standards. Men should never lower their standards at any point. I don't give a fuck if he's 75. He shouldn't lower his standards. Women always should lower their standards because their standards are always, out of this world. And they never deserved what their standards were to begin with. So when women lower their standards, they're, actually they're actually going after their level. And by the time women get humbled enough to lower their standards, they're still going after a guy they don't deserve when they lower their standards. When men lower their standards, they're just signing up for something that's almost definitely not going to work out. Men should never lower their standards. Unless they have superficial standards. Like, oh, I'll only fuck with a bitch who got double D tits. Okay, yeah, those guys should lower their standards. But fellas, never lower your character standards. Ever.
And women. When guys online say things like, no man's gonna want a woman who's 30 or a woman who has children, anyone with any common sense knows that this isn't the case in the real world. Even if a woman had 10 kids by 10 different men, I'll bet you good money that she'll be able to find a guy who's willing to take all that on. Now, will this be the man of her dreams? Unlikely, but it's not entirely impossible.
So I'm assuming that the dating pool that you're drawing from is only women that, let's say, are under the age of 30. So it would make sense then that only 80% or that 80% of women under 30 would only want 20% of men, because you're drawing from a smaller pool. There's much less women, if we're looking at the grand scheme of things, that are under the age of 30. But
doesn't even, hold on, that don't make sense. Am I missing something? She said since there's a smaller percentage of women who are 18 to 30, then of course that smaller percentage of women are going to go after the top 20% of men. It doesn't make sense. Or maybe I'm stupid. Y'all could correct me. Well, first we would have to accept the idea that women over 30 aren't looking for the top 20% of men. And that's just bullshit off top before we even get to this part of it. But look, either way, it's ridiculous. I don't give a damn. Like, there's still only so many top 20% men to go around. You know? So it's still going to leave 80% of whatever the pool is that are going after the top 20% with no man. You see what I'm saying? You know, if there's only 10 women who are looking for the top 20%, 8 women are still shit out of luck. So it's still a horrible fucking strategy.
the grand scheme of things that are under the age of 30. But if we're looking at all women, including the women that are over the age of 30, then it sounds like people do want us over the age of 30, and you guys are the ones who have trouble getting women to want you regardless of what age you are.
I think when people are having this conversation,
I mean, yeah, woo, yeah. Yeah, no shocker, dumbass, yeah. Men aren't wanted. Most men aren't wanted. Yeah, that's the point. That's what this whole thing was about, dumbass. Yes. Most men aren't wanted. And trust me, men don't want you because you're so great. The men who want women over 30 are men who don't know any better, who think you're going to be some fairy tale bitch.
Regardless of what age you are.
I think when people are having this conversation about the 80-20 rule, they're way too rigid with things. Life's a lot messier than that, which is why I prefer to just say that it's a minority of men that women find highly desirable. Now, what that number is exactly, I don't know, and it's pretty hard to tell, which is why you shouldn't live or die by it. Anyway, kinda like I said before, while women over the age of 30 still want the best man they can get, they're more willing to adjust their standards as it'll give them a better chance at meeting someone. Only people who are terminally online think that men won't date women over the age of 30. It happens all the time.
Yeah, it does happen all the time because pretty much 80% of men have been locked out of dating essentially for their whole lives. So they're willing to take whatever they can get, and they'll feel blessed to get a 30-plus-year-old washed up bitch who's been ran through, mentally ill, boss babe who's gonna break his balls all the time. They feel honored just to have the privilege to kiss women like that. They feel honored just to have the privilege of kissing a woman's ass like that. But it's not going to work out. It's a really good chance that those relationships aren't going to work out long term. But here's the thing, those 30 plus women don't really want those men that are left over, as they demonstrated from 18 to 30. And we know how women treat men who they feel like they settle for. It's not going to be a good thing for either party.
Men won't date women over the age of 30. It happens all the time.
Where's that pic? Here we go. Okay, when was this posted? 6 hours ago? Kendra? I don't know what to say, Kendra. This is fucking pathetic. First off, you ain't rapped long enough to be fucking with me. Nigga, you ain't strong enough. This is just, I don't even know where to start with how cringe this is. First off, if you look at her thigh, where her upper, like, what would you call it? Her upper thigh where the bathing suit it stops or whatever. It clearly looks manipulated with Photoshop or AI or whatever. Nothing about that looks natural. So you clearly had this touched up, which is fucking pathetic. This is a woman pushing 50, by the way. So is this supposed to catch you a new man, Kendra? Is this supposed to catch you a new man? So what millionaire man is looking at this? See, they ain't smart enough to even present themselves the way they would need to present themselves to get the type of man they would want. What millionaire man is looking at this like, oh yeah, that's my future wife. I want to introduce this to mama and all my colleagues. No, they might be thinking, I wonder, can I hit this? Kendra looking thick. I wonder if I can fuck. Not Kendra looking thick. I wonder if I can wife her. What's up with the cowboy hat? A B-Day cowgirl hat? This shit is just stupid. Oh my gosh. Does this look like wife material? They just can't let it go. Them being a sex object is their claim to importance. It's their claim to value in the world. You always brag about how much of a boss babe you are, you know, how you got these businesses and you such a hard worker and you have so much value outside of just being a sex object, but you always present yourself like this. Oh boy. I don't know what to say. I'm not convinced her body really looked like this. This is clearly AI altered or photoshopped. Just look at the bottom of the bikini bottom or whatever the fuck you call it. The bathing suit bottom by the upper thigh. That's clearly altered. So we don't know what Kendra body really looked like in real time. You can't believe everything you see these days. Oh gosh. Still just presenting as a sex object. You should be somebody's grandmother at this point. Not necessarily, but you know what I mean. Oh, she trying to be like Beyonce? You're not Beyonce, Kendra. It's just cringe. She's clearly narcissistic and she clearly has a huge fucking ego. Huge fucking ego. There's no room for a man. And if she did have a husband or boyfriend who like, nah, babe, I don't think this tasteful. Oh no, you ain't about to stop my light. You ain't about to suppress my shine. You ain't about to suppress my inner sun. Oh my goodness. She's just not compatible to be in a relationship, fucking period. She's just not compatible. I think she would be honestly happier alone. I genuinely do. So I don't know. Y'all let me know what we doing. Let me finish that other video and then I'm gonna get off unless we get some donations up or we get a buzzer beater donation. All right. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. $5 makes you the live stream sponsor. Whatever you can give is greatly appreciated. Or cash or super chat, super sticker, dollar symbol on the right of the chat box.
Your average guy doesn't have that many options when it comes to dating, so they're not going to turn a woman away just because of her age. Now, when a woman's edging towards her 40s, maybe guys would consider it a little more, especially if they don't have kids but want to have a family.
You see how no matter what argument we use here, there's always a fallacy within it? Because there is an inevitable and inescapable truth in all of these arguments, and it's the truth that you guys do not want to accept. Men have been able to get women in the past because they have used coercion and violence and control. Now that those kinds of tools are not as applicable in today's dating market, and women have the ability to provide for themselves, and they...
That's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. Women have the ability to provide for themselves, but most women aren't adequately providing for themselves. They're just getting by and blowing all the rest of the money if they have any extra money after getting by. They're not investing. They're not planning for the future. Most women need men financially still. 40, 50K ain't gonna cut it to get you to the end of life. It's not. It'll get you by check to check. But you're not good long-term financially. Most women make 50K a year. That's not enough to be good financially. The fuck? So that's a huge effing myth. Oh, women are making money now. They don't need men financially. Yeah, the fuck they do. What numbers are you looking at? Most women aren't making $150,000, $200,000 a year. What the fuck are you talking about? Most women are living check to check, if they even making it to that point. So yeah, don't let them feed you that lie that women don't need men financially anymore. That's bullshit. Just because they have the ability to do big things financially don't mean most women are. And not to mention all the other ways women are just spiraling these days now that they're not under men's leadership. Money's the least of it, honestly.
The ability to provide for themselves, and they have the ability to abstain from getting married and having children, y'all are having an issue dating because we no longer have to be forced to be with you.
I think it's wrong to just say that men have been able to date in the past because of coercion, violence, or control. Because while that might have been the case in some instances, it wasn't the majority. When women talk like this, they make it sound like men are unhinged animals who are just waiting for their chance to abuse women. But if this is how they think, it makes sense as to why they'd choose to hang out with a bear in the forest. Now it's true that women are able to provide for themselves, more so than any other time in our history. Their standards for what they want in a man haven't changed. And that's one of the things that's making dating a lot harder. Since the majority of women still want a guy who's making the same or more than them, it only makes sense that women who are thriving in their careers are finding it a little harder to meet the kind of man they genuinely want. Because
let's be clear about this too. Let's be clear about this. By the time a woman is making big dog bucks, her making big dog bucks is not the reason why she's not in a relationship at that point. She's been ruined long before she made it to six figures as far as dating. So what I'm saying is, you know, if a woman met her man and facilitated a relationship with a man at the appropriate age, you know, basically 14 to 22, by the time she made big girl bucks, she would have already been in a, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10-year relationship by that point and already locked in. So yeah, by the time a woman is saying, I can't get a relationship because I make too much money and men are intimidated and yada, yada, yada. By the time they singing that song, this bitch has been cooked romantically for years by that point. And it didn't have anything to do with money, trust me.
In their careers are finding it a little harder to meet the kind of man they genuinely want. Because while they're looking for a guy who's on their level, the guys who are on their level aren't that hung up on how much their partner makes, which gives them more options when it comes to dating. And while high-earning guys aren't struggling when it comes to getting women, the average man is, because it's very competitive out there. And with so many options being available to women, they're able to choose the best of the best. So guys who aren't all that ambitious or financially well off may have a tougher time.
That's the truth. So you're going to have to step up and provide more to the dating market if you want a partner.
Okay, let's really think about this. Who do you think provide more in a relationship, men or women, in modern times? I mean, women put way too much weight in "I cook and clean." In the grand scheme of a relationship, women put way too much value in that. It's really not that valuable, baby, that you cooking and cleaning. This house gonna get cooked in and cleaned one way or another, whether you here or not. Yeah. I personally think men bring more value into a relationship than most women. So this whole thing of you got to bring more than a paycheck, men bring much, much, much more than a paycheck. Decent men bring much, much more to a relationship with a woman than a paycheck. For example, leadership, structure, discipline, common sense, just guidance, real emotional intelligence. It's so much.
Market if you want a partner. That's just it. That's it. Period. End of conversation. You are going to have to figure out ways to do more and be more to appeal to women. And no, that doesn't just have to do with money. That has to do with being emotionally intelligent. That has to do with being funny. That has to do with being attractive and taking care of yourself and having some kind of beauty standard that you hold yourself to, the same way that women have had these impossible beauty standards to hold ourselves to in order to find a mate.
See, when she talks,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're funny. It doesn't matter if they're fit. If you're not attracted to them, if they're not the right height and you're not attracted to their face, it doesn't matter how funny and fit they are. If you don't like their style and all this other shit, it won't matter. Stop it. It's still gonna add up to women chasing the top 10% of men. Even if all men did become these just great, perfect men, you're still gonna go after the top 10% most perfect men. Like, stop it. Just stop it. And yeah, all these women keep talking about cooking and cleaning, but it seems like most modern women don't even cook and clean. Yeah, they get takeout. So it's like, y'all don't even bring that to the table no more. So just, yeah, please cut it out. Men offer, I'll say, I think men actually offer more than they ever offered. I think men are doing more as far as childcare. Men are doing more than they ever did, and women are doing the least they ever did in the history of humankind.
Talks about providing more. What she's talking about is money, even though she goes on to say that there are other things too. And the reason I say this is because whenever I hear women talk about what they're looking for in a man, money is always the first thing that comes up. Everything else comes after that. Now, I'm not saying that every woman's looking for a dude who's making 6 figures or more, but being with a man who's got his finances in check is super important. And the beauty standards she's talking about aren't something I've ever seen men put a huge focus on. When you're not engaging with people online, you'll find that in the real world, guys aren't out here looking for supermodels, and in fact, they're into a wide variety of body types. Gender roles are pretty much being pushed out of the game, and there's a lot of pressure on guys to do more and provide more, which honestly, is leading to a lot of stress in young men who just don't feel like they'll ever be good enough. And it's funny, but women like this will also say that society shouldn't put so much pressure on men to perform, because we're living in a world that's more equal now. So men shouldn't feel like the weight of the world is resting on their shoulders.
And historically, for women finding a mate meant finding and securing herself resources because there were no other way to find or secure resources. Y'all want a mate just because you want a mate.
We want a mate just to want a mate. Yeah, we love women just for being women. You want us to do everything for you and be Mr. Perfect. Yeah, we're better people than you. We value just having a mate for the sake of having a mate. We got to be 6'3", make this amount of money, be emotionally intelligent, yada, 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 yada. You're worse people. And it's funny, you're telling men to be more and more and more, while women are less and less and less. So why should men be the most that they ever been, while women are the least they ever been? Make that make sense to me. Fuck out of here.
Y'all want a mate just because you want a mate. It's not because you need to secure resources for yourself. It's because you can't fathom not having a mate. Because when you do not have a mate, when you do not have a woman in your life, you become a threat to yourself and to others.
And guess what? The same could be said about you fucking animals these days. You're a threat to yourself and others. Maybe not in a violent way, but in other ways. You destroy women, children, families. Also, you can go have your hot girl summers and be fucking stupid and wrong all the time. Female empowerment has ruined society. So the same can be said about you when you're left without male leadership. What's the abortion rate since women have been strong and empowered? How many babies have been deleted since y'all been strong and empowered? You're a threat to others too. Yeah, don't get me started.
You become a threat to yourself and to others. That's the issue here. This is a skill issue. This is a skill issue that you need to address. This is your fucking problem.
She's right about women.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. What niggas spy out you, nigga? Shut the fuck up.
Remember how others treat you as your karma. Oh, shit. Remember how you treat. Wait, hold on. Remember how others treat you as their karma. How you treat others as your karma. Be nice to people because God's watching. Yeah. And remember, I'm a nice guy. I just play asshole on the internet. And I have never done anything remotely wrong my entire life. Ever. Join the membership links below. Check out the merch link below. Proverbs 21:9 merch available. The Bible was right about women merch available. And follow me on Rumble because YouTube is getting sketchy. They striking all my videos. I might get my channel deleted soon. So you might want to hit that Rumble link ASAP if you want to keep up with my content. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow.